All right. Good morning, and welcome to today's broadcast of On Point, where we help you get your financial point across. I want to thank you for all the listeners out there, for Blake Media, Actionable Financial Literacy, Facebook, all you guys that are out there listening to what we have to share for today's broadcast. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Blake, and I just wanted to say it's a fine day in Arizona. Good year out here. Huh, it's 103 degrees. It's still warm in the valley. Got one of my favorite hats here. Got the fire department there. You know, I was a firefighter for 13 years on the Air Force. Still love it. Still think about it. Hasn't gone away. Still think about the fire department. Got some great finance information here for you. Um, and it's going to be a fine day here. Fine day. Alrighty. So, uh, uh, kind of get some things out here. The other day was Daughter's Day. I had an old picture of my little picture of me and my daughter and my baby girl, and my granddaughters. All my daughter-in-laws. Happy Daughter's Day. My daughters as well. And it's just special thing. You know, my wife, she's a daughter as well. I remember my father-in-law, who's he's in heaven now. Well, I remember when we were standing at, I can't remember where we were standing, but I remember he looked at me and he said, "Joe, take care of my baby girl." And I was like, "Oh man," and he didn't say much to me, but he looked me in my eyes and he said to me that, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, man, I gotta do this." All right. Anyway, let me get on with today's subject and what I want to share with you. Okay. Um, and let me share. Uh, Here we are. Here we are. Financial reflection. As you're going down the road in your financial goals, objectives, and your dreams, you want to come to a point where you have to come to financial reflection. Look back at what you created, what you put into place for your life, and how have you accomplished those goals? How have you made progress in what you actually do? What you actually done? I was speaking to a friend, and they reached the age of 60, and they would say, okay, I wanted to go back and look at my life and see what I've accomplished, what I've done, where I've come from, and how things have worked out in my life. And sometimes you reach that goal at a different age. I remember when I turned 30, I was like, okay, I'm 30 years old now. What have I done? When I reached 40, I was like, okay, what have I done? What do I do now? What have I done? When I turned 50, I was like, man, what did I do? How I'm looking back and what have I, how did I accomplish it? What have been done? So financially, you look at the same thing. Okay, now I've been working for 40 years. What have I had? What do I have to show for my 40 years of work? 50. What have I done? What have I shown for my 50? Same thing. Because you want our creator to say, okay, well done, thou good and faithful servant. What have I created? What legacy am I leaving for my family, for my children? What have I given back to life itself, to others that I've created? So that's a little bit more way out there. But from a financial perspective, you want to see what else you've left. So let's start off here. So here we go. Financial reflection, assessing and adjusting your goals. Because if you once you're looking at it, see what you've left, you're going to be able to adjust those things and make corrections along your way. This is never too late, and it's never over. It ain't over until, well, the saying, fat lady singing all these, but it ain't over until you in the ground. It ain't over. Keep going. I mean, you always have goals. You can always adjust goals. You can go for it at any time, any place. It ain't over. It ain't over until you say it's over. It ain't over. Just keep going for it. Every day is a new day. You can hit the reset button, and truck right on. It's a new day. Every day you wake up in the morning, hey, new day. The Lord woke you up. It's a new day. All right. All right, sometimes I go nuts with it, but All right, so how do you look at the new day? You got to review your financial status, evaluate your current goals, make sure they're still straight, measure your progress, identify any barriers or setbacks or hindrances that's causing you not to get there. Sometimes people be a real roadblock too. You gotta somebody's a roadblock. Hey, wake up, stop it. Adjust your goals, create new action plan to make it happen. You gotta put it in action. All right. So we look at some of these things. First of all, let's look at reviewing your financial status. Look at your status. How you looking? How you rolling? You understand your income streams. Do you have any? How many do you have? If you just got a job, my goodness, one ain't enough. Not because if the job says shh, boom, you're fired. Oh my goodness, you're out of luck. You got to have multiple income streams. Evaluate those streams. You got salary, you got investment, you got some business. You got to have multiple ones because if one falls through, what you gonna do? The job don't like you no more. What's another way you can make money? You know, Whenever I worked somewhere, I always had a side hustle to bring something else in because you never know. Track your expenses. What's coming in, what's going out. What's coming in, what's going out. What's coming in, what's going. Got to make sure where the money's flowing at. Where's the burn pattern? What's being burnt out of your cat? What's being burnt out? Something ain't going right. You got okay. Cut that. You don't have to come out your paycheck. Your financial health. Make sure everything is stable. Look at your spending pattern. Make decisions on what's being spent, what's not being spent. Look at what's going on. Uh, for the longest, man, I haven't had cable for like forever. I think I cut cable out like 2000 something like that, maybe even before. I haven't had cable for 25 years, if not a little bit longer. 'Cause I've been streaming forever. I've been streaming for like I don't forever. I don't do cable. I've always been doing this. But I think when Roku box first came out, that was my first little box, Roku. And now I'm graduated past that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. But that's how I did it, man. I just fell off the box with that, man. I don't like to do cable, free cable. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I'm not saying, yeah, but that's how I roll. Okay. Then there's assessing your assets and liabilities. You know, Asset evaluation. You got to conduct inventory of all your assets, and not just some people think that real estate is that's the thing you got to have. Some people say stocks. You have to have a diversified portfolio. There's more than one way to accumulate wealth. So look at your assets. You got to look at all of it. Your cash, your real estate, your personal property. Understand you need a combination of all those things to accumulate wealth. Not just one thing. There's accumulation of all those different portfolios, assets in your portfolio increases your wealth. The other thing you look at the liabilities. See, credit cards are like a drug, man. You get those credit cards, it adds up, and before you know it, you're going to work to pay the bills. So you got to minimize and limit those credit cards that you have because they can eat away at your net worth. Say no, the credit card. Uh, your net worth calculation is like what you owe and what you own. So you're gonna be mindful of that. What do you own? What do you own versus what you owe? And when you knew that, because it takes away from your future planning, what your future worth is. And if you owe too much, they own you. And the word tells us that the borrower is servant to the lender. If you borrowing so much, you can be servant to them. You think, yeah, well, I just use other people's money. That means you in debt, buddy. You using their money, that means they own you. Yeah, because you always owing them. All right, so you gotta be it's a balance. You have to be the one with the cash. You have to be the one with the owning things, owning it. You have to own it. You got the cash. All right, identify recent changes that impact your financial wealth. So, reviewing your financial status, you have to have a comprehensive financial goals and situations. Be mindful of for unexpected expenses that just pop up. Was an unexpected expense? You're riding down the road and a rock hits your windshield. Unexpected. You know, you can be on a freeway just chilling, just going down the road. Next thing you know, bleep, boom, hits your windshield, little rock. The next thing you know, that little splinter, and all the way across the front of your windshield. You don't expect that little rock to hit your ride like that, and you just and then that little rock, that little star on your unexpected, unexpected, and that can happen. Changes in the employment. You go to work one day, you just, hey, how you doing? How you doing, Monique? Hey, how you doing there, Charles? Hey, what's going on, Eddie? And you get what's up, boss man? Come here. Oh, the boss man got the finger going. Next thing you know, he's like, okay, you got your box, and you're doing the green mile outside the job, man. He's like, oh my gosh, yeah, they don't need you no more. Unexpected. So you got to be mindful of those unexpected expenses, changes in employment. I mean, they come at you quick. Before you know it, y'all know. All right, recognize economic influences. 2008, 2009, that was unexpected for a lot of people. A lot of folks lost. There's like 11 trillion in assets were lost, man, when the market went down and everything. Whew. That's my first book, Financial Literacy, talks about that. Talks about how the financial shift in the market caused the market to go down, and so many people lost money and jobs and everything. So that impact on your on your finances, and it caused a lot of people to adjust. Now, for some, when that market went down like that, it was devastating. For others, it was like, ha ha! If you had cash, you was in the money at that point right there. So be able to recognize those economic influences and be able to be in a position to capitalize when they happen. Some were sad and some were happy about it. Get yourself in a position to capitalize when those economic influences happen. Then there's adapting to lifestyles, life changes. When you have health issues or get married, have babies. Getting married and have babies are happy times. You have little babies come into your life, man. Those times are precious. Every time I have a grandchild, man, I get happy. There's expansion in the family, expansion in life, little chuckles that comes along. Those are good things. Divorce, not really too fond of those things, but they happen in life and changes that come along with those. Because when you go through those divorces, what you think will happen afterwards won't happen that way, but you got to be mindful of it. You know, there's new financial challenges that come along uh, with that. Deaths, another financial change in someone's life as well. So you got to be mindful of that. All right, so you got to understand economic shifts, economic environment shifts. Man, they're having that storm over on the east side of the country now, and those things just take people through different challenges there. Uh, when environment, because you can't predict Mother Nature and how Mother Nature influences and takes over in different communities, just ravages communities, tear up homes, tear up cars, tear up things. So those those shifts and can have a impact on businesses, cause inflation to happen. The business has to raise up the prices so they can recover from some of the things that have happened. So uh, the landscape of the area, the environment could change. Um, could cause investment returns to falter a little bit too there because inflation is kind of high, and it causes someone to reassess their financial goals if you're impacted by an area like that. Market volatility, fluctuations in the market, lead to changes. So how do you mitigate risks like that? You have to have things like insurance to cover those things. And then some people capitalize on those opportunities, some don't. Policy changes and regulations could come to affect them because now insurance costs are higher because the environment happened there. Not cool, but sometimes the insurance companies have to raise rates uh, in those areas, and that can influence someone's personal finance um, because cost is more. So your financial goals have to adjust accordingly because of what happened. That's physical economic environments, but even in like wars that happen around different countries and everything, those things uh, shifts the economic environment not only in that country but countries that could be surround them and everything. So you got to understand the economic environment in different areas for different reasons and how that shifts can cause costs to go up, coverages to go up, and makes the whole makes it different for people. So evaluate those current financial goals. Align your goals with lifestyle and priorities. One, review your financial status regularly. You got to have assessments, which includes your income and expenses, change in personal circumstances, ensure your goals remain the same and relevant and achievable. So you got to be relevant to your situation. Align your goal with your life changes. You know, like I mentioned before about family growth, and it includes your lifestyle. Because when you're a single guy, you just roll when you got your Mustang. Well, you end up having three kids. You can't roll with that Mustang. You can't. You have to get a minivan or a van. You just can't do it with a Mustang. You got two baby seats, and if you got two baby seats and another child, it ain't gonna fit in that car, man. You got to get it something bigger. Set realistic milestones, knowing that yeah, your current resources and constraints not gonna fit it. You need a bigger house. Can't live in that apartment. You got babies. Babies got toys, and those babies are gonna grow a little older, and they're gonna need Pop Warner stuff, space for the Pop Warner things. You can't do it in a Mustang. You need space, man. You gotta get out of being cool and realize you're a family man, and you need that. You need extra space for it. You gotta grow. You gotta grow. You ain't single no more. Anyway, that's what the guys. That's another guy. I was 27. I had a big old conversion van. You know, 27-year-old with a conversion van. That means you got a lot of kids. Yeah. All right, keep rolling. You got to reevaluate your goals after life events. Impact changes. Now I was telling you about marriage and everything. You got to go through a reassessing existing. I mean, when I was looking for my van, and my kids were small, right? My boy, Joey was like, I was Joey, like 5 or 6, and he was like, "Okay, Daddy, I want a van with a TV in it." Dude, man, what you gonna do with a TV? You 5. You know, he's like, "I want a TV in it." I was like, "This dude want a TV? Yeah, how you want to see what he?" I did. I got one with TV in it because he wanted to be able to watch. It was magic though. I tell you that it was magic because I get on the road when I'm driving, and him and his brother, they in the seat. I had to turn around and look a couple of times because they were so quiet. I was like, man, them dudes ain't saying nothing. Why? They watching cartoons. It was cool for me though. I'm driving. They weren't fighting, so it was hey, yeah. So I set my goals, man. I was 27, but I was like, that's cool. And my daughter was like 6 weeks, so she didn't care. You know, give her a bottle, try to pamper. She was straight. So, but I was like, I was. It was peaceful. Well, so sometimes you get that's impact of life changes. Health. You know, you got to make. You got to. Health comes into mind. Even when you're young, you got to worry about your health. But when you get older, you really got to worry about your health because you get old and you ain't got no money for your health situation. You are in trouble, buddy. You got to have enough. Got to have your health because you don't have health. You got to use your wealth to take care of it. And then if you do have, you do have your health. If you do have wealth and you don't have your health, I mean, Oh man, you just gotta have money. You gotta have money if you don't have health. If you don't have health, you gotta take the wealth to do that. And if you do have, if you don't have health, well, if you have wealth and you don't have your health, then you can't have fun. You're too old, you're too sick to do something with it. So oh man, you gotta have it, man. You gotta have it. You gotta have both, man. You gotta have both. All right, set new priorities. Now, as you get to the point where you got health and you got wealth, you can set priorities, man. You can set a short term, long term goals. You can have fun with you got the money and the health, then you can have fun. You can go over here, you can go over there. You're chilling. You can spend time with your family, spend time with your grandkids. You can knuckle them up, knuckle up your grandkids because you have extra extra time in life, extra energy in life. You can enjoy that time frame. But look at those life changes. Look at that financial, the health assessment. You can actively you can reflect on your goals and your dreams and enjoy it. You can set new things that you can do. Like I have a set of grandkids that we went to Disney World with. Now I got some grandkids that like just being, they're like 1 and 2. So I can, go to Disney World with those now. So I don't know if I'll be able to jump on any of the rides, something like that, because I'll be a little older, but I'll do it. I'll try it. I'm able to give it a shot because I still feel okay. I don't know, but I'll see. I'll see when I get there. All right. Long-term aspiration and financial objectives. So alignment of your goals, structure your goals and management, monitor your progress. These are things that you be aware of. Do those things. You got to make sure they're aligned. Structure your goal management. Monitor your progress. Those things you do, and they adjust as your lifestyle changes. When I was 20, when I was 30, when I was 40, uh, man, I'm 58. So monitor that progress. I look back at it all the time. 2 years from now, I'll be the big. He may don't want to say it, but I'll be. I can't believe I'm gonna be 60, man. That's like, but that's 2 years away from now. But anyway, but I monitor my progress all the way along the line. And I look back at that. Look back at my life. I said, man, that was you, Joe Blake, way back then. Look at you now. But you got to look at the long term aspiration because what I want to do now, as I do it, create it, see it in my children, how they create their lives. They are a lot further down the road than I am, though. I tell you that they're a lot further down the road, which is good. They're doing better than Daddy was back when I was their age. They are straight up on fire. They're doing it better, and that's how you want your children to have the same thing. Have that long term aspiration, have those financial objectives, and they're further down the road. Now, these are three important importance of relevance. Align with your current circumstances. Make sure they're adaptable to life changes and enhance motivation and focus. So when you enhance their motivation and focus in life, and you see it in your children and your grandchildren, so they're able to maintain their focus. They're able to regularly assess their goals, and they foster a sense of purpose in them. It's awesome. It's awesome to see life evolve. And you create life, and it evolves in them in such a degree that you see it and how they progress. You have to mimic it first, and then you see your children follow. And if you see something in your kids that you don't like, you know who you have to look at. You you have to look at, did you align? Were there any alignment with your current circumstances that you need to correct to see them do it? Is there any adaptability in your life changes that you have to do to see them do it? There's always, because our children see what we do and they follow it. Not in all cases. I'm not saying what they do is always a reflection on us, but it's a good indicator. It's a good indicator. Can we change it? In some cases we can. Some cases we can't. Some cases we can't. And all you gotta do is at that point is like, hey, I need your assistance here. This one is a little off track. I need do what you can. But that's the first. This is the first half of taking a look at our financial objectives, reevaluating them, making sure we manage our financial objectives accordingly, and and making sure that we're reflecting on our goals, reflecting on our objectives, and ensuring we're doing things the best way possible. So, uh, this is the first half of it. We're going to finish the next half next week. And so I want to remind everybody, scan that QR code. You can get the Sapphire edition of Building a Financial Legacy, the second book in my 3-book trilogy. On the upper side over here, you can scan that QR code and download the Accidental Financial Literacy app, where where it contains all the information from the book, can contain the information from the different models that I have, and it gives things a more concise method. Then there is the here. There's another. You can scan this QR code, download the book, like and subscribe to the uh, podcast here, so you can get this. You can get notified when the podcast is going to be on. You can get the information. I also put out a newsletter on Wednesday with some a reminder of the podcast, also more tidbits from the podcast here as well. And it's a wonderful thing to be able to share my time, share time with you on this Saturday morning. Hope you gain some good information from today's podcast. And hey, it's always a pleasure to remind you to stay tuned, stay informed, and stay on point. We'll see you again next week, same time, same channel. This has been your host, Dr. Joe Blake. I hope you have a great and wonderful Saturday. See you next week. Have a great day.